What's up, peoples? It's Gendo here, and let's just get right into it. It's time. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the MLS Cup playoffs and the Chicago Fire getting back into it for the first time in 5 years. It's been a long time coming, a lot of downs, but we finally have hit up, and now we're going to be playing the first match of potentially 6 that could see us win the MLS Cup. The first one is going to be a wild card match. It's a one-off match, and we're lucky enough to have a home draw taking on the New York Red Bulls. If we get past this, both the conference semis and the finals are a two-legged affair. Get past both of those, and it's a winner-take-all in the MLS Cup Finals. One match to decide who gets the title. Now, first, we got to start with the first match. And to be honest with you, even though we are a 3rd seed in New York City, or I should say New York Red Bulls are a 6th seed, they are a deceptively sneaky 6th seed. It does look like at times they could have done a lot better. They could have had a better record than what they have had right now. And to be honest with you, that's why I'm so nervous about this match. I feel like the atmosphere is going to be extremely tense during this match. And if the Chicago Fire don't get a goal very early on to ease that tension, it's just going to be everyone sitting on edge waiting for that first goal. But I would like to say that the Chicago Fire will help ease that tension, and we will come away 2-0 victors. And then see ourselves through to the conference semifinals, which we would be taking on NYCFC if we did in fact win. So here's hoping and praying, boys. Let's go out to Toyota Park and let's go check out the atmosphere. You know, it's about 40 minutes till kickoff, and yes, I do think I'm here a little early, but it's a weeknight. It's cold. It's like 40 degrees out here right now, so I wouldn't expect a lot of people to be showing up 40 minutes early. But there's barely any atmosphere right now. For a playoff game, yes, I know it's been 5 years since playoff game, but to see barely anybody here right now, it's a little disappointing. This is 20 minutes till kickoff. Chicago, what are you doing? I know it's a Wednesday night, it's cold as hell. But what are you doing? This is the first time the Fire in the playoffs in 5 years, and nothing. Come on, boys. Gotta do better. Come on, boys! Thoughts? Not good. And kickoff. This has been some shithouse reffing the entire match. Switched to a 3-5-2, had nothing to lose at this point, and, well, Red Bulls just put it away. That's game over.
he went down voluntarily. The amount of time wasting by New York is actually comical. But the Fire have done themselves no good. The Fire have done themselves no good by putting them in the situation that they are. Damn it. Weeks until opening day. This is not how I expected this to go down, to be completely honest with you. This was the worst loss this season, the worst loss that we've ever had at home. We didn't lose many matches at home in the first place. We only lost 2 matches at home. We were 12-3-2 in all matches at home. It just had to be this one. It just had to be that we played the absolute worst in the playoffs at home, losing 4-0 to New York Red Bulls. So that's our playoff run over, obviously. So the match is over. I really don't want to talk about the match anymore. It was god-awful. It's done, and actually the refereeing in that match was god-awful as well. The worst I've ever seen, not just for the Fire, but they were missing calls for New York as well. So they could have called 2 penalties. They could have thrown out a lot more cards than they did. They only had 1 card in the entire match. So, like I said, we'll just throw that match aside. It's over with. The season is over with. Let's get a postmortem on what the Fire need to do going forward. Now, obviously, going from dead last to 3rd place in the MLS, that's a big turnaround. Obviously, the best thing to go from here is looking towards next season, is try and get back into the playoffs. Build upon what the squad is right now and get back into the playoffs. And right now, I would honestly be fine with the blowing up of the team and just restarting over. If you keep your assets of Dax, of Nikolic, I would say Polster and Kappelhoff, and maybe even David Akam. Just keep those 5 players and blow up the rest of the squad and just start over. Because there was not a lot of good that I saw on this team. A lot of this team was just a carryover from the last 2 years, of course, that were a part of the bad times and apparently still were having some bad times attached to them. So I'd be fine with just blowing up the squad and trying to rebuild through trades, through draft, through whatever. But keep those 5 players. And then, of course, the main question is, will Bastian Schweinsteiger actually come back? I think that he has in his mind that he wanted to give the MLS a go and make his decision on if he wanted to actually stay here. In his contract, he does have an option to re-up his contract and stay on the team for 1 more year. After this season, though, I'm pretty sure that he's going to say nuts to that. He's going to, not re-sign with the club, not opt in for an extension to his contract, and he's going to retire. I think that that's the general consensus. A lot of the feeling throughout the Chicago Fire community right now is that he wanted to give the MLS a go, and he saw what happened with the Chicago Fire, and he's probably thinking to himself, okay, if this team is going to be exactly like what this team was going forward into the next year, I probably don't want to be a part of it. So I know it's a little bit drastic. It could just be me, in my rage of what just happened today, but I genuinely feel like that's the best 5 that this squad has right now, and everyone else is average at best. And we'd have to look to try and get better in various positions going forward, defense being the main issue. But you can't take away from the accomplishments that they had this season. Like I said, 3rd place, making the playoffs for the first time in 5 years. The first playoff matches that I've ever seen. Because I didn't watch the Fire. I didn't watch the playoffs back in 2012. So I didn't know how that season went. When I did start watching the Fire on a regular basis, they've always been shit. So it's very nice to see that they actually have a good team, had a good team this season. Now let's build upon it and try and get better next season and be a little bit more competitive going forward and not have this up and down nature. So that being said, I'd like to thank you guys once again for stopping by and watching another Chicago Fire vlog. It sucks that it is ending on a downer. The season is ending on a downer. But, like I said, there's always next year, and we got to build towards next year. So like I said, in 18, 19 weeks' time, that'll be the next Chicago Fire match. So take care, peace out, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.